G'day everyone and welcome to episode 2 of the Joey Wiggle Experience. Today we have a wonderful special guest. He has done multiple acting gigs over the past couple of years. He has been in a couple of my fan dubs over the past couple of years too. And he has also taken up an acting course at JMC Academy. Please welcome Moses Yacoub. Moses, nice to have you here, mate.
Thanks for having me, Joe. Nice to be here again.
Yeah, it's great to have you here. And also joining us in the creative room, we have Darby Travers, who will jump in if when needed. So it's nice to have you back here, Darby.
Hello, Joey. Hello, Moses. Thanks, Moses, for coming on. And yeah, great to be here for another episode.
Great seeing you too, Darby.
All right. So it's wonderful to have you here, Moses. I know over the past couple of years you've been a pretty frequent collaborator in some of my projects. So first things first, please introduce yourself and what you do.
All right, so I'm pretty sure everyone knows who I am at this point. My name's Moses Yacoub. I am what you call a young rookie actor. Yeah, and just on that note, regarding acting college, I'm actually no longer at acting college. I actually left about 2 months ago now, which we'll discuss later on. But yeah, other than that, that's a bit of a brief thing about myself. Some of my talents, I can play ukulele, keyboards, and do voice impressions too, which will be useful for my acting in the long run.
Voice acting, yeah, and I know you've been pretty frequent in voice acting because you're one of the first actors I actually approached when I did my first ever fan dub for the Wiggles movie, and I think some people may know you as the voice of Wally the Great. So tell us about what that experience was like, and what have you learned from it?
Okay, so going back to 2021, it was the Delta variant lockdown. I was supposed to do what was supposed to be my very last high school production back in 2021. Unfortunately, COVID got put it off, and this was supposed to be the Australian, like some Aussie adaptation of Macbeth in contemporary language set in the 80s. But because COVID put it off, I was pretty devastated. And then when I saw this thing that Joey Wiggle posted, so what you posted, Joey, on YouTube in regards to the Wiggles movie fan dub, I thought, give that a try. And yeah,
and it wasn't supposed to be and I was going to say it wasn't supposed to be a Wiggles movie at first. I explained in the previous episode with Darby that originally it was going to be a cover of Wiggly songs with a couple of the Wiggle community friends, but yeah, I think over time it was kind of like, I think we might I want to go bigger, I reckon, like more than just a couple of covers. I want to see what would happen if, because I remember when I was younger, there was a guy named Thomas Condon who was on YouTube, and I remember he did a open call for the Wiggles movie, and he was going to do like a redub or something like that. Yeah, exactly. He's going to do a redub of the Wiggles movie and he was inviting people to audition. And I remember seeing that and auditioning, but then nothing really came across from that. And yeah, I think after that, I still remembered it. I was like, I remember when I was supposed to happen, but it didn't happen. By the way, this was like 10 years ago. And then, yeah, I thought about it back in 2021 and I thought, it is the 30th anniversary of the Wiggles. And I thought maybe it might be a great idea to give back to the community and to do something that has never been done before. Now, being the hyperactive creative individual that I am, I decided to aim higher and higher, and then I realized, hey, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to redub the Wiggles movie myself, and I'm going to invite people in the community now because I know it would have grown over the past 5 years, and yeah, there we go.
And that's what got you to...
That's what got me into doing the Wiggles movie fan dub, so that's how it all started, yeah. And then I started having open calls, and then heard your audition for Wally the Great, and I was like, there he is. There's Wally. And now here he is.
Looking back now, like I a lot has changed, like vocally speaking for me. Like I will say, like if I was to ever re-record or redo the Wiggles movie fan dub, I'd do it in a heartbeat. Like,
yeah, it was a fun project. It was also a very long project. It was like the amount of editing that I had to do. I thought it was going to be it might not be that long, but then it took a lot longer than usual because I was really hyper focused on just like perfecting the soundtrack, which took a while. It was actually the first thing I did before editing the dialogue, and then as soon as I moved to the movie dialogue, oh man, that took a while. It took a while because I had to keep going back over it and make sure I had everyone's lines, and I had to like go through the script. I had to watch the movie like I think 3 times in a row to make sure that I had every line like added in or something. I had to make sure that it was all just like I was double checking, making sure that everyone's bits were there, all the sound effects were there, and yeah, it got to a point where I was like, oh no, what have I done? I think I committed to something that I'm probably not going to be able to finish. But yeah, overall, it was like the moment when it did come, when I released the soundtrack, it gave me the confidence, like, hey, maybe I know what I'm doing. But
Yeah,
then,
that takes time.
It took time, but yeah, and then the fan dub came out a year later, and yeah, everything changed from that point. I think that was probably one of the best videos I've ever done in my life on my channel.
Yeah, I was thinking, like, looking back now, yeah, I can imagine how hard that would have been, like, for you especially, because you're the one that was looking for, you know, the actors and everything and making sure that it was like just cinema in a way. Like there's no better way to describe it.
Yeah, absolute cinema, exactly. And it was kind of like I was a bit worried to see if it was going to be as good as it should be, because I know that like I was inviting people from the community, and I thought, oh no, am I not raising the standards high enough? But then as soon as I I put it all together, and then looked over it, and then it premiered, it was like, you know what? I think what made this so great was the sense of community, knowing that there are so many people out there who grew up with the Wiggles and just remember the movie, like they just remember the Wiggles movie word for word, and it's like that's a community, I reckon.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, like anyone who didn't grow up with it, like I don't know how you'd call yourself a Wiggles fan, because me personally, like the Wiggles themselves, and obviously a couple of other people out there have inspired me to do what I love doing. That is like acting, singing, playing instruments, entertainment all in all. Like, which is
Entertainment
kind of
all
where
in
it
all,
got me,
yeah.
you know, all those couple of years ago.
Yeah, and I think what I mentioned before in the last episode of the podcast was that we were talking about like the kind of impact they've had in terms of like not just like music in Australia in a way, but also in terms of like spreading joy and positivity, and it's hard to find that often in children's media today, especially with like shows like Cocomelon and like Caillou and stuff, which are very bad for a child's brain, in my opinion. But we're healing. We're healing because we've got Bluey. We've got Bluey. No one else has Bluey. We've got Bluey.
Yeah, that's Australia.
And then we gave Bluey to the BBC, and Australia's not making the money as they should
to
fund the film industry, which is another issue. But overall, yeah, I mean, I think when it comes to Australian entertainment, I think we always just bring out the best, whether it's like the Wiggles or Play School High Five or the Bananas in Pajamas or just Bluey, the recent Bluey. Yeah.
Yeah, I think nowadays when it comes to Australian entertainment, especially in, you know, today's society, like the people nowadays, when they think of Australian childhood, the first thing that's going to come up is either Bluey or the Wiggles, just one of those two. Like they won't come to anything else.
Yeah. Well, I remember growing up too. The major two when it came to Australian entertainment would have been the Wiggles and the Bananas and Pajamas. Like the Bananas and Pajamas was, people forget how big they were too globally. And by the way, Bananas and Pajamas again came from the inspiration of Play School, which is another TV show we had in Australia, which I think is played a huge role in like children's entertainment as a whole. Like,
Yeah.
I was going to say Australia, but then I realized the Wiggles were also partially inspired by Play School, because they've spoken about how
Yeah.
Play School mastered the ability of talking to the camera, so it feels like they're talking to you directly. And I think we've seen elements of that in other shows like Blue's Clues as well. I think they've mastered it, and I think the Wiggles themselves have mastered it, and I think that's what makes them so like popular and so believable and so understandable, and also not annoying as well, because it's like when you feel like someone's having an authentic connection with you, you know that they mean it when they're talking to you. And I think the Wiggles were talking to us, not down to us, and that's what made them like just so loved and popular and not obnoxious or annoying in any way.
Yeah, because like the idea, like going back a little bit, like Anthony was originally supposed to be in Play School. Like he put an audition for it, but unfortunately his they
Singing,
yeah,
yeah.
it wasn't as great. So Play School turned him down, and he decided, you know what, I'm gonna make my own Play School, and that's kind of when the Wiggles kind of came about, I suppose. You know, so
Yeah. And it's interesting too, because I think also when you add in their background in early childhood education, like just them learning the basics of like child psychology and how children them without talking down to them, I think that's what also helped them grow as a group as well. Like even as they became more and more famous, I've said this before, but it's like I like how they never cared about the fame. Like even Murray himself said, I might be wrong, but he said that he about the fame. It wasn't about being on top of the world. It was just about like entertaining kids, because obviously, like, and who are struggling, and it's like when you see the Wiggles just bring joy to their lives, it's like it means the world. It's like true humanitarianism.
yeah. Yeah, because I remember reading. Actually, I think I've got a book here. Like, I don't know if it is in the book, but like it's like Enough Rope with Andrew Denton. I read it's got like an interview featuring the Wiggles, and I think I read about that at some point. Like they weren't trying to make.
Oh yeah.
They weren't trying like they'll say it in every piece of media anyway. They'll say, you know, we're not really making money off of it. We're just doing it because we love it. And I think that's the main. What I think is the main purpose, you know, for me as an entertainer myself. Like I don't want to like do stuff just for money, like or work in an office industry, anything like that. I want to do something that I want to do and be as creative and like share my experiences, you know.
Yeah, and I think that's the key to success. If you're not doing it for the money, you're going to succeed for the right reasons. I think a lot of people go into this industry, especially when it comes to social media, and they think, Darby, that like the first thing that they've got to do is what is the quickest way to make money? What's the quickest way to get recognized? Oh, let me share the latest trending sound on TikTok. And it's like it doesn't work like that. Like it obviously it takes time. Like for me, it took like years to get where I was. Like it wasn't just like a one day thing where I just uploaded my first video and was like, oh yeah, there we go. Now I'm gonna get like hundreds of views. And it's like, no, I've got to do something different. I'm gonna do something that no one does. And it's like, yeah, that's why I started to switch from uploading full videos of the Wiggles, which by the way are now taken down by the ABC. So yeah. But going from that and just uploading albums. So I guess that's another way of people recognizing who I am, is because I upload the albums, which have been a pretty frequent part of my YouTube channel for the past 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, like looking back now, like just on top of your albums, I just remember like you've uploaded like a certain amount of Hooly Dooly's albums. I can't remember who did it before you, because I remember there was someone else.
It was Duck Plumber the Fourth. There was a YouTuber by the name of Duck Plumber the Fourth, and he uploaded all the Wiggles videos, and he also uploaded the albums as well. And he I don't know why the albums got taken down for some reason, but yeah, the videos have been kept up. And I noticed that they weren't up, and I was like, okay, if I'm uploading albums, I might as well just do the Hooly Doolies.
Yeah.
And now and now all the Hooly Doolies albums are back on YouTube because of me.
Mm.
I mean, someone else could have done it, obviously, but it's kind of like I kind of brought it back.
Yeah. Surprisingly enough, like I've got
surprisingly enough, I'm the one putting myself at risk of getting cancelled or blocked, but for the sake of everyone else's entertainment. So I'm more than happy with that.
Yeah. On the contrary, like I've got like your albums like in my local files, like on my Apple Music library. However, they're a little bit. Some of them, like they've like in my Apple Music library. I don't know if you can see. I'll just get it up real quick.
No worries.
But yeah, these are all like the Hooly Doolies albums I have on my phone. Like all custom, have their own artwork and everything. But some of them have a twist. Like one example being, like all of them are in PAL audio. Just believe it or not, because I like the music.
PAL audio, yeah. PAL's nice.
Yeah. So but the twist that I have, one album in particular, Keep On Dancing, it doesn't just have the studio tracks. So like the first half is basically the normal album itself, but the second half I've got like, the live tracks as well.
The live tracks. Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah. Because I really liked, I loved the video more than, I loved the album, but I still like to listen to the album every now and then. But it
was interesting because it's like I look back on the Hooly Doolies and the album Keep On Dancing, which by the way is a great album nonetheless. But it's interesting to see that they switched from just doing a live version of the video.
Yeah.
Maybe it was kind of like a budget thing, either that or it was like time issues, or maybe they just wanted to do a live experience. I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, like it was obviously their only, live release that they've done. And I think they were scheduled to have another one at some point. I don't know if I can't remember where, because this was like a couple of years ago that I've read, or maybe more than even. But
I think the promo gave it away. The promo gave away that there was other footage. I think there was, by the way, for those listening, there was a promo of Keep On Dancing.
Yes,
it was like a
30-second one, but it had like chroma key, effects, and I think it's available under the YouTube channel Molotov. I think
Molotov, yeah.
Yeah. And they have like other, Australian album, commercials that run for 15 to 30 seconds each. So if you want to check it out, feel free to do so.
Yeah, including the Wiggles.
Including the Wiggles.
Just jumping in there, guys. By the way, apologies, we've had a few technical issues. As you can imagine, we're still experimenting and playing around with this podcast, so do bear with us as we find our feet. But yeah, just jumping in, I love how you folks, well, obviously we love the Wiggles, but I also love how it's the Hooly Doolies and so many other fantastic Aussie acts over the years that we all love and adore.
Yes.
It's interesting because it's like the Hooly Doolies, even if whether you like the Hooly Doolies or you don't like the Hooly Doolies, for obvious reasons, some people don't like them because it's like, oh yeah, they're an obvious rip-off of the Wiggles, which I wouldn't deny, but you cannot deny, and I'm going to say it again, you cannot deny that they also had good music.
Yes.
Their music was so catchy, just so catchy, and it was like, it didn't matter if they were like a rip-off of the Wiggles, it was like they had their own style of music, and they all played instruments. I mean, come on, they were musicians, which is what children's entertainers sometimes lack. It's like, you don't see it that often, and it's like they're all just dancing around, and it's like, no, these guys played like a gazillion instruments at once.
Yeah, like there's like a tin whistle, an accordion, a saxophone, a violin, like
just Bruce on the violin. Like, come on.
Yeah, like come on, you can't deny the fact that the Hooly Doolies itself, I mean, they were short-lived, but their content was still great during their time. I mean, even on on ABC for Kids, like, children go to that. They don't go to the Wiggles the majority of the time, because the Wiggles weren't even on ABC for Kids TV at the time, but they still loved the Hooly Doolies because they were just being themselves. They weren't trying to rip off the Wiggles, like, although some people can say that they have. But at the same time,
I think it can be a 50-50 kind of scenario, but whatever you look at it like, yeah. But yeah, I think I think also, because the Wiggles were starting, especially in the early 2000s when they started to tour America, it was kind of hard to go and see them unless they were performing at the end of the year. Because
Yeah,
they were just touring globally at that point, and it's like the Hooly Doolies weren't, so they were still staying local, and I think it just helped as well for people to actually go and see a group that they could just be like, hey, we saw them, and they're one of
Yeah.
the top acts in Australia. Controversial opinion, I know they always stated themselves as the top Australian act, but it's kind of like, I think so did High Five. I
yeah,
think so
High
did
Five
Play School. I
especially.
think
Yeah.
so did the Bananas and Pajamas. I think they all said that.
Well, Bananas in Pajamas actually kind of is if you think about it. But definitely High Five and the Wiggles though. Like they were number one in Australia. Like there
Oh
was
yeah,
people,
absolutely.
there
Yeah.
was speculations online saying, oh, there's like a feud going on between them. When in actuality, like they get along with each other very well. Like specifically Tim Harding from High Five and Anthony Field from the Wiggles, they get along with each other very, very well. Like they recently,
Wait, there
not
was a
recently,
rivalry before.
yeah,
They had a rivalry.
One Hooly Dooly song that does come to mind is "Hello, hello, hello, my friend. How do you do?" You know that one? What's that
yes,
one
yeah,
called?
Yeah.
oh, it's called Hello from Pop.
Just hello. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
no, that is a banger song, and of course the theme song as well. We are the Hooly Doolies,
Hooly
and how do
Doolies.
you do? We are the Hooly Doolies. We are the Hooly 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 Hooly. How do you
How do you
yeah.
do?
In my opinion, my favorite song would have to be, oh, I didn't listen to it until 2015, but it's got to be 10 Fingers. Like
Ten
that's my
Fingers?
one of my all-time favorite Hooly Dooly songs. It's the one that goes, I got
I,
10 fingers, 10 toes, and one nose.
I think a lot of people will say Pop is their best album,
Oh, it
only because
definitely is. 'Cause it won
it
an
was the
ARIA
one that
award.
won the
Yeah.
ARIA. Yeah, it
Yeah.
won the ARIA award too. Yeah, but then so did the High Five over the Wiggles over a couple of years.
Yeah, from 2000 to 2004, that is, I think, yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
didn't.
that it comes into the debate of like who was better in the early 2000s. Was it the group that was beating the Wiggles at the ARIA Award, or the group that was performing at Madison Square Garden that same period? It's kind of like really hard to
Yeah.
pick.
I guess because the Wiggles were really global at that time. They wanted to make it fair for, High Five, I reckon, which is
Maybe, but
understandable.
not fair enough for the Hooly Doolies. It's kind of like, yeah, you
Oh, the
guys
Holy
aren't.
Doolies, yeah.
You're not topping High Five. Come on.
Yeah, yeah. The reason why they only won is because neither High Five or the Wiggles got nominated. Oh, but Play School on the other hand, like Play School definitely won like back in 1997, but that was because the Woolly Doolies weren't, fully recognizable yet until
And the
around.
Wiggles didn't have an album in that category that year, so it's
Yeah,
like
nah, the soundtrack doesn't count. So
there was a funny joke. There was a funny joke. I was watching the ARIA Award from '99, and it was when the Wiggles weren't nominated, and it was like
Bob Down.
Hooly Doolies had Pop, and it's like there was a joke. It was like, well, wasn't that nice? But that the Wiggles agreed not to release an album this year. It's kind of like, yeah,
Yeah,
if they had released an album, it's kind of like, yeah, we know what that one's gonna be.
yeah, we already know how that was going to end, and I mean, I sort of had concept ideas on what could have been released in 1999 for the Wiggles when they had the chance, but it didn't. Like so far, my two concepts are the Dorothy the Dinosaur and Friends album, which is basically the video that was like the spin-off Dorothy video from 1999, and the other one, oh sorry, wrong one. And the other one was the Wiggly Big Show from 1999, which would have been like a great live album to listen to, in my opinion.
Yeah. I think it was one of my favorite videos when I was a kid as well. I think it was between that and Yummy Yummy and Toot Toot. And
For
Hoopty
Yummy
Doo.
Yummy, is it the remake or the original?
Oh, the remake. Yeah,
Oh,
the remake.
featuring Hesse.
I think Yummy Yummy itself, the album, is like the best one in my opinion, just for a few reasons. One, it has fruit salad and hot potato. Like, come on.
Yeah,
They're
they're
two of the
bangers.
biggest bangers on that album.
Yeah, like they're absolute bangers. If like there's that,
And the other one being that even the other songs on the album, like Monkey Dance, Dorothy, Dorothy the Dinosaur, Walk, Crunchy Munchy Honey Cakes.
All those songs
It's
you
like
just
they had some good songs.
Yeah,
all those
yeah,
songs you just listed, they are absolute bangers. I mean, crunchy munchy honey cakes. They're just so good. Every single Wiggle song, we said this, Joey, on the last episode. Every single Wiggle song, it's just so well done. Like the way they put it all together, and the catchy and really, the great lyrics and the instrumentation behind the scenes. It's all so well done.
absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah. Like,
Yeah, it's
for
just
both
it's
the
true
original and
talent.
the
It's
remake,
true
yeah.
talent. Yeah.
Yeah, like if we're talking like I mean the original for those that don't know, yeah, like the original 1994 album of Yummy Yummy is probably best known for having, being the first album to have, real drums instead of having to use Jeff's Korg M1 at the time. Like, because back then, the very earliest of albums of the Wiggles, like from 1991 till 1993, Jeff had to use, for drumming, it had to be from his Korg M1. And then the real drummer Tony Henry came onto the set, and boom.
Yeah,
That's what
and
makes
then their
it
sound
great.
changed. Their sound definitely changed once they hit "Wake Up Jeff." It was kind of like, yeah, now they're
Yeah,
going global. They're trying to aim for like the global market.
yeah. Like they used a trumpet, like a real trumpetist, like and some real
Dom Lindsay,
string
yeah, they got
artists.
him. They got him on board to work on the music as well, and they even brought on Paul Paddock to help with the backing vocals and play Captain
Yeah,
Feathersword. So
yeah.
yeah,
But in the album, he wasn't playing Captain Feathersall until the video. I guess it could, but
yeah,
yeah. It was still nice of Paul Paddock to do his thing, and yeah.
yeah, yeah. Anyway, also, for those wondering, he was also Moses. You were also featured in the Space Dancing fan dub as well. Obviously,
Yes.
the roles weren't as well known as Wally the Great, because I don't know how anyone was going to be able to top that. But yeah, you still had a bit of an appearance in the second fan dub.
Yeah. Yeah, looking back at so yeah, I was just rewatching the fan dub only to see my clips, and like just the voice acting in there. I've got to say, like it was sort of like a bit of a step up for me in terms of my voice impressions, my and my like because when was this May 2023?
23, yeah,
Yeah, because
2023.
this was like because I think the production sort of began just before setting foot in acting college too. So yeah,
Yeah, it was a very exciting. I was gonna say as well, whilst the Wiggles movie fan dub, I reckon was, I think, by far the best video that I've ever done. I think just the Space Dancing fan dub was definitely a step up. It
oh
was
yeah,
definitely a step up in terms of like music and the editing. And then yeah, we got into the Cold Spaghetti Western fan dub, and then I think I think that one was still good. I'm not gonna say it was better than, I think personally the Space Dancing fan dub was the best editing I've done by far. And then I
yeah.
would say Cold
You had
Spaghetti Western,
Noah.
yeah.
What's his name? Noah Pendergast, like in the introduction video. I thought that was pretty clever, and that space background that you use, like for like the moving, like the space dancing animated background that you would have seen in the end credits, like the use for that was pretty cool. Like
Yeah, it was very exciting to use all this exciting, especially now that we live in a time where it's like we have all these really professional editing softwares, and in some unfortunate cases AI. But at the same time, people will just combine the two, and it'll just be like the videos end up looking like really insane.
yeah, like half the time people would rely on AI for me personally, I might just cut out a little bit, but like just for me personally, because for those that don't know, yes, I have done a few short films, and I've also done a majority of DVD openings on my YouTube channel. Like I've not once used AI for any of my content, and I don't think I ever will, because like me personally, I just don't rely on it.
Yeah. Me, unfortunately, I've used it a couple of times. I've used it
Fair
a
enough.
couple of times out of pure interest, and also just to do something. Again, I'm one of those creators on YouTube who's just like trying to do something new. Oh, people are going to be like, you'll see a thumbnail and it'll be like, oh, wow, what is this? Interesting. Let me click on it. But again, I
Yeah.
had to stop after a while because I realized like I kind of don't want to rely on it too much. So I'm only using it a couple of times whenever I need to, whenever I've got like a milestone. So like, for example, if I hit, because I did like a disco album, an AI disco album, which was like it was fun to do, but I wouldn't do it every week because it's kind of like too risky for my
Yeah.
channel, and
Yeah,
also
you
too
didn't want to
risky to
have
be
to.
seen as an AI channel too.
Yeah.
I
Like,
hate the idea of being seen
yeah.
as an AI channel. That's like, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I stopped doing the covers. It was like, I think I'm doing a bit too much. I might just switch it up to just making DVD openings by Jake Sadler. He just sends them to me, and I just upload
The
a
cam
bunch of them to
recorded
my
ones. Yeah.
channel. Yeah, and then the full albums as well, just to kind of like spread my upload dates as well. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But at the same time, it's exciting just to also work on the fan dubs. I feel like that's just kind of what I'm really good at, and that's what I want to keep doing. And I think that's how people recognize me and my content is through my fan dubs, and I'm really excited to be working on them. And also the upcoming Racing to the Rainbow fan dub, which is coming out next year, the next Wiggles fan dub, which is going to be very exciting. I think it might even be the biggest one that I've ever done. So will it top the Wiggles movie fan dub? Who knows? But it's going to be a big cast. It'll be a huge cast. It'll be so many people, and yeah, I'm just very excited to see how that goes as well.
Yeah, I
And
might be helping now. We don't know, but like
we don't
I think
know. Yeah, I haven't announced the
know.
casting yet, but I'm still working on it. And I think by the time this video is uploaded, I might already have announced it. But whether I have or haven't, so again, we'll wait and see.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. But also just wondering as well, because I mentioned this last week, but in your personal opinion, what would be your favorite Wiggles song? Because we talked about our favorite songs last week, and for obvious reasons, I stated mine was like Fruit Salad and Hot Potato, for the very obvious reasons.
For me, it changes, but currently, like obviously, like if you give me I don't know, if you give me an album or something, and I'll probably pick one of my favorite songs from there.
From each album?
Oh, no, definitely not from every album. Like just any album, like I don't know, maybe ranging from 1996 up until 2001, because that was personally one of my those are pretty much
Fave eras.
yeah that the Wiggles actually did well musically speaking.
All right. What about anything from Toot Toot?
Oh, Toot Toot. Oh, I have so many favorites. I'm probably gonna go with number one being Toot Toot Chugga Chugga, because that's a song that everyone knows.
Everyone knows that, yeah.
Yeah, second favorite being Do the Wiggle Groove, like especially like the organ from Jeff and the drums by not Tony Henry, but it was by Paul Hester.
Oh yeah, the late Paul Hester as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, who unfortunately he passed away 2 decades ago from taking his own life. But Paul Hester, like listening to the songs that Paul Hester contributed in terms of drumming, like I recently went online, like sorry to be a bit off topic, but I was online recently looking at a document full of the original Wiggles personnel, and I found out, and it wasn't really 100% accurate, but it looked like Paul Hester had a certain amount of Wiggles songs where he contributed on the drums with his hard style drumming and everything. But like his drum, I haven't heard any of his songs the same way again. Like just hearing him on the drums was just incredible, like and emotional in the best way possible.
Yeah, it's interesting to see the and I think when the group evolved on, especially in the early 2000s, that their music definitely like just was at a peak at that point. It was like, especially when you listen to the music from like the Lights Camera Action era, my god, like that music was that's the kind of music that's like we're on. Yeah, exactly, like what you've got on right now.
Yeah, I can hear that. Yeah, that you can definitely hear the guitars going off, but like from John Field, Anthony Field, and Colin Watson, who I think he was the electric guitarist for majority of the Wiggles songs from 2000 and from the albums Woohoo Wiggly Gremlins, Top of the Tots, and Cold Spaghetti Western. Like he gave it like that American feel to it, which I think that was pretty global for American audiences abroad.
Yeah, it definitely is. All right, it might have been that, or the fact that they were just really talented and they just had the right people working with them, and it was just
Yeah, but now, like, if I'm being honest, and if anyone in the that works for the Wiggles is watching this, then you need to do something about your content musically and visually speaking, because
visually, yeah, I was gonna say visually, they should try to keep the camera angles more. There should be more life to it, because it's like, especially when you watch the earlier videos, like there's just so much camera movement and just looks like you're flying and you're really wiggling. But it's like when you have it on tripod mode, it's kind of like I can't move around like that. Like, can you at least move the camera, zoom it in on
there were
something?
different angles. Like one example being, Henry's Underwater Big Band from 1996. Like the like one shot of Greg, like it was more upright. Like Greg was like facing on the and it was a bit like, and even the majority of the TV series 1 episodes, it wasn't just a flat angle. Like there was like sideway angles for the majority of the first TV series episodes, and
Yeah, I kind of think the Wiggles are still great nonetheless. Like they've still got some great music, and I've said this before last week with Darby. I don't care who's part of the lineup now. Even like when the day comes when Anthony isn't part of like the lineup anymore, I don't know when that's going to happen. I mean, he loves it so much, so it's like it's understandable. But like even when that day comes, I don't really care who's part of the Wiggles. I think as long as they're following the values of what makes the Wiggles so good. If they're following the values of the early education background, the values of staying positive, and the values of spreading joy, I think that's what makes the Wiggles so enjoyable and so loved globally. And that's why they've become famous again around the world, because of social media and because they're promoting TikTok. All eras of the Wiggles. Yeah, I mean, even after the Greg, Jeff, and Murray left the Wiggles back in 2012, it's like they still came back. It's like when they're gone, but they're not really gone. It's like they'll always be the Wiggles.
It's like a bit of a new chapter in a way, but like I mean, Lockie, he takes up after Jeff's antics, but Simon, he's himself. He's not trying to copy Murray or anything, because Murray's the king of guitars and no one can top him. And then
no one can top Murray, yeah.
So, but I think the thing that got me the most, I mean, I think 2021 during production of the Wiggles movie Fan Dub, when there was both the Fruit Salad TV Wiggles and of course the Latin American Wiggles. I think on YouTube it was like a great, exciting year, mostly for the Latin American Wiggles. That was an exciting year for the Spanish, speaking people, and I myself, I unintentionally sort of learned, Spanish through them, and it was just, wow, I'm gotten bilingual. But then with the Fruit Salad TV Wiggles, it because I think one person commented on a news post saying that the Wiggles were just, all white guys at that point and had no diversity. And I think Anthony wanted to take it to the next level and have.
It's like, didn't they? It's like, wasn't there Jeff? Wasn't there a dinosaur? It's like, wasn't there an octopus? Wasn't there a pirate? It's like, what do you mean there wasn't diversity?
Yeah,
there was even Officer Peoples.
Yeah, and of course they extended it to 8 Wiggles, and I'm like, you didn't have to do that. I mean, just have and more backup people and whatnot. But
yeah.
I mean,
again, I'm not. But again, I'm not going to be that kind of guy.
No,
having a disapproving opinion on a band for preschoolers. It's like,
I'm pretty sure everyone at the start, they didn't like it, and I'm pretty sure that's the same with the transition from Greg, Jeff, and Murray to Emma, Lockie, and Simon. But I'd say musically speaking, I feel like the music it's not as great as before. I mean, some of them they'll reuse some of the OG backing tracks that they used, I don't know, the 2000s or something. But
again, you don't want to sorry, I was going to say, again, you don't want to always reuse your old material. I get the
Yeah.
idea that they need to keep moving forward, but if they're going to move forward, change the visuals.
Definitely.
Just make the visuals, like if you for your music videos, just make it look like it's fun. Like
Yeah.
if you want, just get one of those DJI helicopters and just have like a GoPro on it and just like fly it around the studio if it's gonna make it's gonna make it look more appealing. But hopefully not like in a bad way, because it's like you don't want it to be like Cocomelon, where it's just like they just overhype it with all the colors, and it's like it's just brain rot for your 3-year-old.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah,
which Wiggles definitely will never go down, because I know that they've got heart and soul, and they're not corrupt like that. And Bluey.
Yeah, in my humble opinion, though, like speaking, like I like playing music in my spare time. Like if there's one thing I really want the Wiggles to bring back, it's the strings and the brass. Like they don't really like, and when it comes to strings, like they just use they just use random keyboards, like from like literally probably use random keyboards. Whereas like back then, you've had people like Don Bate, who was the trombonist for "It's a Wiggly Wiggly World," and I think for few songs from two and TV series 2, and we also had Dom Lindsay as well on the trumpet, and then the strings we've had Maria Shadowitz, Margaret Lindsay, and they really put their heart and soul in the strings. They didn't just have to go bland with it. Like they were like having like a musical conversation in a way.
Yeah. By the way, those listening, we're not disapproving of the Wiggles now.
Yeah,
it's just we're pretty much just like giving some hot tips to what they could do to make them sound much better now.
Yeah.
Like if you imagine what they were like when they were peaking, they should look at that and be like, so what worked then? Like what was it that we did in like 2002 that got us on top of the world? And it's like it was like the way that their videos were done, and maybe forget the tripod thing. Like maybe it's just like they need to just keep it visually entertaining.
Yeah.
And they need to keep it visually entertaining, and I think they should stop overhyping it with like instruments that sound really light. Like have a little bit of brass, have a little bit of trumpets, have a bit of everything. You got to mix it around.
Yeah.
Trombone,
saxophone by
mix
Craig.
it around, yeah, mixing it around, and then you'll sound like a band that can take on any genre of music, literally.
Yeah, and the Wiggles actually did more than just like the Wiggles weren't just one style. Like they'd mix it up. Like they do country, they do jazz, they do pop, they do rock. Like back then,
and they do Elephant. They did Elephant by Tame Impala.
That was probably one of the best things that the Wiggles have done. Like re-wiggled, especially like has won an ARIA. It won. I think it reached #1 on the ARIA charts as well.
Yeah, it did. It reached #1 because I got all the big Australian acts to cover their music, and then the Wiggles covered their music, and it's like hearing the Wiggles just cover Umbrella by Rihanna, that made my day.
Oh man, I listened to that and it just I sort of got a little. I remember when I first listened to Umbrella when it came out, a couple years ago now. I remember I got emotional when it came to Greg singing and Sahaya singing together. I literally started crying tears. I was I wasn't it was just silently listening to this and it just really moved me. I loved it.
Yeah, it was wonderful. They should I don't know when they'll do another one. I mean, even because that was around the same time as the reunion tour as well, which I'm sure a lot of us really enjoyed.
I couldn't go because I had what was the my Orthodox Easter celebration on the same night that the Wiggles were performing in Sydney, and I was just so furious about that. So I just kind of I didn't blame the Wiggles personally, but I just thought, okay, some things aren't meant to be.
Something
they'll
do another reunion tour soon. It's surely at the 35th year anniversary. I'm not sure if they will, but it's if they all come together and we're let's do another reunion tour.
Yeah. Like, if they ever do another reunion tour, like, they definitely should do exactly what they did, in 2022, like, have, like, a live band and everything, but also have, like professional Wiggles fans, all over, like Joseph Lizio especially, I don't know if you know him.
Yeah, I know him. Yeah, he plays the
Oh yeah,
drums.
just
Yeah,
recently saw on his Instagram story, he recently just got like the Kurzweil K2000, which is like the same keyboard that the Wiggles used for the album Wake Up Jeff, and even used for songs, especially in the remake of, of Yummy Yummy, like that, like the re-recorded version of Hot Potato that was first heard in the Wake Up Jeff tour, and most predominantly used in the Yummy Yummy video from 1998.
yeah.
Yeah, so when I saw that, I was just completely happy for him, and I'm thinking, speaking of, like, I'm probably gonna like save a bit of money and probably spend it on a new keyboard and probably get the Kurzweil K2000 if it kills me, because I've been wanting to get that keyboard for 3 years straight.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So how long have you played the keyboard? Just curious, because I know you've played a bit of it on Instagram, and I've
yeah,
seen. Yeah, and it's just interesting to see doing a bit of keyboard covers. I think you and Jonathan Eads done it as well. So yeah, I
yeah.
think and Noah's taken up keyboard as well. I think everyone's just taken up the keyboard and the piano. So yeah, what got you into the keyboard?
Okay, so about maybe 2011, 2012, my grandfather had a keyboard lying around. It was like an old Casio. Couldn't really play, chords or anything. I just started, I've been self-taught on how to play, the keyboard, and learned which note is what, and I just sort of had a really great ear for music. And I think 2015 was when I started getting a new keyboard. It was a different Casio model where I could play chords, and it was just a lot of fun for me. And I think around 2022, I wanted to share my talent, to Instagram audiences and like friend. It was a private account at the time, so I'm probably thinking of doing public and maybe creating my own music in style of the Wiggles, almost in a way, but try and make it seem more like 90s 2000s themed for probably the older, like generation.
Yeah, I get so obsessed with like trying to find anyone recreating the old like keyboard versions, like Charlie Plowman's done it a few times. I think I always just keep going to find someone who can recreate the keyboards on those old keyboards.
Yeah, I think so far there's a few people for one, obviously Joseph Lizio, now that he's got the Korg and the Kurzweil.
From Jeff, yeah, and I saw it on his Insta. How crazy is that? He played the
Yeah, and
original
he's
backing
really
track.
close. He's probably the only Wiggles fan to ever be, fully close to Jeff. Like no other Wiggles fan would interact with Jeff that often, apart from Joseph Lizio. Like,
yeah,
I love him. He's a legend.
he's a legend, absolutely.
Yeah, Joseph
Yeah,
Lizio, if you're watching this, you're a legend.
yeah cheers,
I
Joseph.
can't think of anything better to say.
Yeah. Also, in terms of ABC for Kids material, I know you've also got a Discord page where you which you run, which is by the way, well, I'll add it to this video, but it's a Discord which celebrates the world of ABC for kids, particularly if you're in Australia and you grew up in the 90s 2000s. This would be the group for you, because it just reflects on all the major TV shows back when we were growing up, like the Wiggles for obvious reasons, Hulu Doolies, Johnson and Friends, Lift Off, Blinky Bill, you name it. It's like just these shows that we grew up in Australia, and even Sesame Street. We had Sesame Street as well, so we're pretty multicultural in a lot of ways.
Yeah, Australia's pretty welcoming of other countries, like especially the UK. Like in the UK, like in Australia, we've had Thomas, Bob the Builder. They were pretty popular in Australia. I'll tell you that now.
I think they were popular just everywhere. But yeah, in Australia, they were definitely no exception. They were just there.
But yeah, anyways.
And we've exported some of the best. And now we've given the world Bluey and the Bananas and Pajamas and Play School. Actually, no, the Wiggles. And Play School. Actually, no, Play School is kind of the reason why most of these shows and groups exist in the first place, when you think about it like that.
Yeah, I think Play School is probably the oldest, children's thing to ever start, like children's TV thing to ever happen. Like, and in America, like maybe 3 years after Play School, like Sesame Street came along.
That's right. Yeah. And that's not to say that that's not us saying that we think Play School's better than Sesame Street. I'm just saying that Play School in particular had a particular style of teaching, and I think and just like Sesame Street, it was aimed at entertainment, but also not talking down to people. So that's what made them both so loved and why they've still stayed around after all these years.
Yeah. And they're trying to get, like the point is trying to get a child to interact with, other people besides being, lonely and isolated. Like they have an activity to do, and it's all about coming from the child's point of view. Just like, some people said in an interview, like Murray and Anthony would say, and Greg as well, and Jeff.
Yeah, and I think that's why the Wiggles became so famous the way they did, is because they didn't force anything on us. It was always just they were talking to us like we were them, or we're smarter than them, and we're helping them. Hey guys, firstly I just want to apologize for the technical difficulties that we've just experienced in the past couple of minutes. Personally, I want to thank Moses Yacoub and Darby Travers for their contributions to today's podcast. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and to hit the notification bell to stay up to date with these videos. And also, keep on wiggling. All right, see you next week.